We are deep into weddings, and I love it. Now we're going to get some expertise about how to choose the right facility to have your reception. And Joy Edwards from A Joyful Occasion is joining me to give us all the expertise we need. Joy, thanks so much for talking with us.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Okay, the reception facility is so important because everybody's gone to the wedding, they've cheered, they're happy, now they're ready to eat and relax and do whatever you're going to do.
Yes.
What are some of the things you should be thinking about to make sure that you choose the proper site for you and your taste?
Well, it really is important when you go out to a venue to have in mind the type of wedding that you're hoping to have. So if you want an elegant wedding, you're probably looking for a ballroom or maybe a country club. If you want something rustic, then you need to be looking for something that's more of an outdoor venue, possibly log cabins. So you want to make sure that the site that you're having your reception at actually lends towards the style of the wedding that you want.
More and more people are choosing to get married in the same location that they have their reception. But
yes.
That's tricky planning, isn't it?
Well, it is, but you know what? In the long run, it is very nice to have everybody at one place. This way you don't lose your guests, and especially if you have guests that are out of town. And today, with the way this area is, we have so many people who have moved here, coming from out of state, coming from out of town. For your guest list is those people, it's very high.
Yeah.
And so they do need to be at one place so we don't lose them.
So what types of things should you keep in mind to make sure that it's a smooth transition? You don't want people sitting there watching a crew break down and set up and all that stuff. How do you ensure that it's a smooth transition from the ceremony to the reception? Well,
The most important thing is if you can have your ceremony site at a different location within the same location, that is an ideal situation.
So like a different room, if you're in a hotel, for instance, two different ballrooms.
That's right, or outside, possibly on a terrace or in their garden area, and then your guests would move from the ceremony site into maybe a cocktail site, and then eventually into your reception site. And this will give you time to have everything set up properly and in time, and things will smoothly go and fall through.
Yeah. When you talk about outdoors, it's beautiful. I was at an outdoor wedding last year, but the bride was supposed to be outdoors. The bride was crushed when the weather turned bad and it started raining.
Yes.
So how important is it to have a plan B?
Well, you know, everybody has something in mind, a beautiful wedding, and they want it like this, but weather doesn't always cooperate, like he said. So you have to be sure that your plan B is a nice backup plan and something that you can live with, something you'll be happy with. Otherwise, you will be very disappointed. So when you're looking at that site, be sure to ask them, what do you do if the weather does not cooperate for our day?
That can be an extra expense, can it?
It certainly can. If we have to do some last-minute changes, if the tent has to be brought on board, and usually if you rent a tent, it has to be done a week ahead, which means you need to put a deposit, and that's usually non-refundable.
Right.
So you do need to check into the backup plans very carefully.
But it's an expense that you just have to accept, right? You can't not have a backup plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a wedding, and you only get one shot at it. So you have to just kind of put that in the back of your mind that this expense might occur, and because of that, you do have to plan.
All right, Joy, wonderful information. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.